Excellent. So, today's subject really brief, but to share, and I think it's a great compliment for what Megan was talking about is, LinkedIn. When you think of social media, you think of like, okay, friends, followers, likes, all that stuff. And when I was talking to Alex a couple of weeks ago, one of the things I wanted to talk about is like LinkedIn is really where the money is, right? So, certainly by generating content on YouTube, all the various YouTube, your social media channels, that's where you can get like money for all the viewers and things like that. But where LinkedIn is where the decision makers reside. So I want to talk about that a little bit today. I want to really kind of emphasize this, right? So there's LinkedIn clout, and then it's versus clout. So like a phrase you'll hear in social media is like, like I'm chasing clout, right? And that's where, like you have to do the more outrageous video to get more likes, things like that. And what I'm really talking about is clout is, am I networked with the people that really matter, that can make decisions in my motorsports career, help develop whatever, platform that I'm developing, or really just get the attention to get that one sponsor to kind of, put us on the track. So the one thing I really want to emphasize here is LinkedIn is a professional network and not necessarily a social one. And what I mean by that is the distinction is nobody who's linked in with me cares about what I had for dinner last night. Nobody cares about where I went on vacation. Nobody cares about, the birthday party that I hosted for my for my niece or something. Okay. On the professional side, though, what I am interested in is tell me about the cool stuff that you're doing. Holy crap, you're at this event. Oh my God, you're at this race. Oh my God, you've got this new product. So I always try to keep that key distinction, because when LinkedIn leaks into politics, personal things like that, I see a lot less engagement in it because there's other places for that. And when I am linking with you as a professional, I want to engage with you as a professional, and I want to talk to you in those terms. Whereas if I'm linking in with you socially, yeah, all those things I mentioned earlier are acceptable, but I just want to make sure that, like, in my experience, I see LinkedIn as a tool for professional networking, and really want to be a part of that solution and not letting it de-evolve into social with other platforms. So the other part, like I talked about cloud, is, you're getting likes not for clout, not to feel good. You're getting likes because like the content that you're sharing is acceptable. It's interesting to your colleagues or the people that are within your network. But what I want to kind of take into account is whether I have 3,000 followers, I have 200 followers, and I have 10 likes or 50 likes. It's not like anything I can necessarily cash in, except for all you're doing in your network and the people that you're trying to engage is really kind of establishing your credibility. So you're not doing anything over the top for the sake of doing it. You're doing it because you're bringing content and something that would be valuable to people that you're networked with. So the thing that I kind of always really look at is, let's say I was a prospective sponsor and I obviously, evaluated sponsorships with my various OEM duties in the past, is I'm going to go right to your professional profile. And frankly, that's going to be my first impression and really a resource for your brand. I'm going to learn very quickly what you're about by just getting that first impression on your professional profile. So what I've done since day one on LinkedIn has been meticulous about like adding all the elements that LinkedIn offers to you, but then more making sure that my information is current. I'm talking about things that are relevant. And frankly, I would tell you, just from a career standpoint, like for people that I'm looking for, making sure that the content in there is really rich for search engine engagement, if you will. If I'm looking for that type of person or that type of resource, I want to have the words in there that reflect the things that I'm capable of doing. So I think that's like really, really key when you're talking about how to like leverage LinkedIn. So we've talked a little bit about like the personal piece, but I really want to talk about the who of LinkedIn and really what drives that. So one of the first things I ask everyone is, why are you here? If you're on LinkedIn because you want everyone to know, as I mentioned before, what you had for dinner last night, or the birthday party that you hosted for your niece, probably not a great resource. So let me give you a couple things that I think are valuable. One is the network. The way that like my LinkedIn profile is set up and the connections that I have are really like, how do they interact and how does this network, kind of work as its own ecosystem under my roof, right? So the key things that you'll see in my network is, because I've worked primarily in automotive, I have a lot of OEM contacts, I have a lot of dealer contacts, I have a lot of industry contacts. What I've done with them over time is, when I need that type of like resource, I need to ask someone who knows something that I don't know, I leverage it in that way. But what's key to that is like, how is your network connected? How does it make sense? How does people over here now leverage the fact that because of Patrick Shelton, I have that resource on the other side? So connecting hypothetically teams, drivers with potential companies that might be sponsors or agents, those are things that I do in my network. Obviously, within the brands that I've worked on the automotive side, I also kind of interlink there, and if you see it, it kind of makes sense. The next thing,
Patrick, we actually had a comment come in, if you don't mind.
Sure, because I can't see. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no worries. So Colin Schmidt asks, would you start a new LinkedIn account to do this with? I use my current one to connect with other engineers within my current career, so I'm not sure if that would work the same or if I should start a new one, more of a casual account.
I would absolutely transform your existing account into what you need it to be for right now. So what I've seen is, when people have dual accounts, you're just creating confusion when someone's looking you up. What you can do though, and what's great about LinkedIn, is you have the ability to add comment or add content that's relevant to what you're doing and still keep that linkage to your past, if you will. And it's actually, in my opinion, for what it's supposed to do, is very flexible. So my recommendation in that case is keep it original, because when I see multiple accounts and I see people are all over the place, that just sends a bad, I wouldn't go as far as a red flag, but it's just not a good look.